When you think of championship rings, you always think of a Super Bowl ring.
This is by far the most incredible ring that's ever been made. This ring tells an incredible story.
Super Bowl rings are one of the most iconic pieces of jewelry in the world of sports. Each one is custom designed with distinct, important features that make them unique and highly valuable. But how much does it cost to make a ring? And what are they worth in today's market? What are some of the hidden features in the rings? And what's the history behind them? Today we're exposing everything you need to know about the Super Bowl rings. Join us and subscribe for more on the Football Freak Show. When teams win leagues, cups, and championships, the players and other team members who work to achieve the victory usually don't get anything but records and probably bonuses. But in the NFL, the players also get their own trophies in the form of rings. Valuable keepsakes thought to be worth up to $1 million or even more. The NFL championship rings remain the most famous jewelry in sports, but they weren't the first to come up with the ideas. It started in 1922 when the New York Giants baseball team won the World Series against the Yankees. They settled for rings after being awarded with engraved pocket watches and lapel pins in previous years. Today, the NBA championships also get rings after adopting the idea in 1947. The first championship rings in the NFL were handed out to the Green Bay Packers in 1967, when they won Super Bowl I. Since then, we've seen a wide range of NFL rings, each one representing a historic piece of NFL history. So aside from the history, what else makes these rings special, and what are their features? The championship ring that went to the Green Bay Packers had a fairly simple design. It had only a single diamond in the middle of it, but the designs have become more sophisticated and flashy over the years. It's now common for the rings to feature over 200 diamonds, with one particular edition having over 600 diamonds, and another being made with platinum rather than gold. Each NFL ring is distinct, with the only thing they have in common being the incorporation of the Super Bowl logo. The players' rings are customized to include their names and jersey numbers, but that's not all. Each Super Bowl ring design reflects the story surrounding the triumph. The Patriots' Super Bowl 51 ring features 253 diamonds, a homage to the biggest Super Bowl comeback in history. A 28-3 deficit they had to overcome to beat the Falcons. The Eagles' 57th rings had 127 diamonds, the sum of the jersey numbers of 3 players who executed a tricky play now regarded as the Philly Special, which helped them produce an upset win against the Patriots. The 2023 victory by the Chiefs saw the players go home with a ring designed with 613 diamonds and 35 rubies. It also has a removable top that can double as a pendant, revealing a carefully crafted Arrowhead Stadium. The Chiefs' rings weren't the first ones to feature a detachable top. That tradition started in 2021 with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who were the first to win the Super Bowl at their home stadium. The ring's top can be removed to display an engraved replica of their stadium. The 2022 rings received by the Rams were another breathtaking piece. They also won the championship in their home stadium, so the design featured the pillars of the SoFi Stadium, and if you look through the pillars, you'll see the pitch. The top also comes off, and the pitch is built into the ring using remnants from the pitch and the actual ball used. The biggest ring ever made belongs to William the Refrigerator Perry, a member of the 1985 Chicago Bears team, whose ring size of 25 is more than double than that of an average adult male. Now that we know what's in the rings, let's look at those who got their hands on a piece of this sophisticated jewelry. The NFL contributes money for only 150 rings to be made each year. But that's usually not enough to go around, since teams love to give the rings to more staff than just their players. Even though the rings are not all the same, we can divide the ring types into 3 tiers. Tier A being the one for players, coaches, and probably owners get. Tier B rings have fewer diamonds and features, while the third tier will have even fewer designs. Apart from the players, coaches, and owners, executives and employees also get rings. Practice squad members, backroom staff, analysts, and basically anyone the club deems fit will get one, even when they vary in value. Every year, NFL champion requests something between 300 and 900 rings, depending on the numbers on their crew. The Super Bowl runner-ups also receive rings in commemoration of their conference championship, but it's nothing as elaborate as the Super Bowl rings. The Cincinnati Bengals got rings that looked like this in 2022 when they lost the Super Bowl against the LA Rams. Others outside of the game have also been able to get their hands on this piece of Super Bowl memorabilia. For instance, the Patriots made a family and friends version for special individuals some years ago. Russian President Vladimir Putin has a Super Bowl ring which he got from Robert Kraft when Kraft joined an entourage of dignitaries that visited the Russian president to encourage commerce between the U.S. and Russia. Kraft claimed he only intended to show his ring to the Russian president, who loved the ring and didn't think he should return it. However, Putin denied the story, and rumors went around that Kraft was allegedly directed by the Bush administration to say he gifted Putin the ring. Yep, that's how powerful the Super Bowl ring can be. Fortunately for Kraft, he is one of those with the most Super Bowl rings after his New England Patriots won 6 championships. However, he's still standing in line behind Tom Brady, who has 6 from his time at New England and another one when he joined the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Brady also has one less ring than his coach, Bill Belichick. Belichick won 6 trophies with New England, but he had 2 more from his time as the defensive coordinator for the New York Giants. He even has a boat named 8 Rings in reference to his Super Bowl mementos. So, how are they made, and what does it cost to produce these flashy rings? The process that goes into producing the Super Bowl rings is evidently meticulous, and the masterpiece that have been rolled out over the years. Several jewelers bid and submit designs, and it's an ultimate honor for the team that gets the gig in the end. The design phase typically goes on for about 8 weeks, while the production takes around a month and a half. With inputs from Coach Lombardi, the first ever Super Bowl ring was produced by Jostens, and the custom ring maker has gone on to design at least 37 of the 57 rings. Designers of the Vince Lombardi Trophy, Tiffany & Co., and Belfer are others who have also made NFL championship rings. Celebrity jeweler Jason Arashpin, who owns Jason of Beverly Hills and has designed rings for NBA teams, was awarded the contract to design championship rings for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2021 and the Los Angeles Rams in 2022. The exact cost of each Super Bowl ring is not public knowledge. It can range from a few thousand to tens of thousands. But the whole package isn't financed by the NFL. They contribute $5,000 for each ring and pay for only 150 rings. That's $750,000 coming from the NFL's purse. Depending on the team's distinct tastes, special demands, and how many staff members they want the rings for, the players or the executives will have to foot the rest of the bill. For instance, after their Super Bowl victory in 2023, the Kansas City Chiefs reportedly parted with $11,000 each from their $157,000 bonus to bring more bling to their rings. Expectedly, the main players and coach rings will cost more than B-tier or C-tier versions, since they have more features, as stated earlier. Some of these rings are put on sale, especially those of staff members that aren't marked, especially with names and jersey numbers. However, players and prominent team members, like owners and coaches, also auction theirs, usually for good causes or to lessen the effects of bankruptcy. The good news is the rings have a lot more value when they get on the market. Robert Kraft, owner of the New England Patriots, who has 6 rings to his name, auctioned off his Super Bowl 51 ring in May 2020. The bid started at $75,000, but it later went for a staggering $1.025 million. Others who've sold their rings include Lester Hayes for $18,200, Thomas Henderson for $11,000, Fred Thurston, who sold 2 rings for over $50,000, and Ray Guy, who got a little over $96,000 for 3 rings. However, the record for a player's ring at auction belongs to Giants legend Lawrence Taylor after his Super Bowl 25 ring was sold for $230,401 in 2012. Another one sold for $344,927 in 2018. It was one of the rings made for family and friends after the Patriots won Super Bowl 51. If you fancy your hand on a Super Bowl ring, just check around and you might be able to find some. So which of the Super Bowl rings is your favorite? Tell us in the comments, and do remember to like and subscribe to the channel for more awesome NFL content like this one.